Hello, happy bro bros. Hey, you're about to get a face full of the Ken Bozak. He's a mentor. That's what I heard. He's a connector. Oh, yeah. He's a brilliant leader. I've seen it. He's Ken Bozak. Oh, happy bro. You gotta get some Bitcoin and hold it. Happy bros. You gotta get those NFTs and you gotta hodl that stuff. You gotta hodl it. 'Cause I'm Ken bro. We got your Bitcoin, bro. He's an original. Buy some NFTs and hold them. How many times does he have to tell you? Going to the moon. We're going to the moon. We're going to the moon. We're going to the moon. Going to the moon. We're going to the moon. We're gonna get real high. 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 Yeah, we're going to the moon. We're going to the moon. Bro, we're going to the moon. Oh yeah, we're going to the moon. We're gonna get real high. Real high. Yep. Real high. Hello, happy bros. Come get some Ken Bozak.
And we're live. GM in the afternoon. How goes it, bros? This is not another Bitcoin podcast. I'm your host, Ken Bozak. With me, doing his hair as always, is Double O Tats. How goes it?
What's up, man? Kind of having a bad hair day. I'm trying to, get my shit rebraided today, so I got to take it down. You know what it is. Don't double up tap the Black James Bond, baby.
You should dread them out this time instead of the braids, bro. Just start some fucking dreads out. Get some like Trailer Park Boy, rat tail dreads going.
And then we'll be twins. Right.
Fuck yeah, bro. At least with a hat on, people won't even notice who's who from the back.
Yeah. What's up, Julian?
Our guest today is Julian from Make Hodling. Well, I'll say hodling, but Make Holding Great Again. It's so hard for me not to say hodling. Like, it is completely taken over the way my brain works, so even my mouth has dyslexia at this point. But yeah, Make Holding Great Again. Julian, thank you for joining us. If you could, please introduce yourself to the audience as well as us. Let us know who you are, how you got into crypto, and what you're doing now in this space with Make Holding Great Again.
Oh man, yeah, thanks for having me on, Ken. Double O Tat, glad to be here with you both. So a little bit about me, right? I spent a long time in the military, probably about 20 years, a little over 20 years,
Thank you
and
for your service.
yeah, man, absolutely. You know what? There were some times that things weren't peachy. There's some times that things were great, and all of it together is an experience that can be used to better myself for the future. So, I loved every minute of it. So, because of that, but no, look, towards my last couple of years before I retired from the U.S. Army. My my boss at the time, right? He was into Bitcoin, and this was like mid to late 2020, and he was introducing me to Bitcoin and started talking about it, and he was like full on, you have to invest in this. This is the future. This is everything that you need to be involved with, like financially, like it's gonna be everything. He was so hardcore, die hard about it. Like he sold his entire, well, I wouldn't say sold. He transferred his whole IRA that he had at the time, and I think he got into it like around 2017, and he bought all Bitcoin with it, right? So
Damn.
I think he had like around 200 Bitcoin, and he still has it. He holds it in a cold wallet, right? And he paid like $1,000 per Bitcoin. That's what he told me. And so, because he
Damn.
got it like around 2017 or somewhere around there, right? So, and he just had this super bullish stance, was like constantly like did a phenomenal job explaining what it was, how it's immutable, and everything about it was just, this is the future. So I took the leap and I bought my first half of a Bitcoin in 2020. And from there, it's been all about crypto, man. Like the journey has been epic ever since, right? So went through the 2021 bull run, you know, all the way through it, and regretted a lot of it because, you learn some hard lessons, right?
Hey, it
Along
was
the
fun
way.
while we were there.
It was fun while we were there, and thought that I learned about the cycles and everything, and went through the bear market and the NFT run on Solana and loved all that stuff, right? And when this came up, 2024 is when I kind of started to get back into crypto, and you know. Um, I think it was when the current president got reelected, or yeah, it was November 2024 is when we saw another little pretty big bull run pump, and then kind of died down after that, right? Like I think January 2025 or whatever. But the whole 2024, 2025, I was back into crypto. I ended up getting really familiar with meme coins along the way. I ended up CTOing a project at the time. And one of your previous guests, Yeremiel from Plastic, was
Shout out to Plastic.
on the
Guys, I'm here.
team with me for this coin that we CTO'd. We were both part of the core team. Long story short, the coin didn't work out, unfortunately, as 99% of meme coins don't, right? And so we kind of linked back up again, and now we have our own projects. And we're in more than just what we do by ourselves as well. So I think learned a lot of good lessons along the way, and when I was in that other project, and I saw a lot of behaviors in this ecosystem of memes, and I'm like, what can we do to try to impact this? What can we do to um, change the narrative, change the incentive for people, because everybody wants that shiny new object, and they're chasing 5 minute, what I call 5 minute squirrels, right? And there's a squirrel here, there's a squirrel there, and they see that shiny object and they chase it every 5 minutes. And so
Squirrel.
the whole idea came from how can we break that cycle? And I just said it. I was sitting thinking one day, I was on like we were out of town with the family, and I was like, you know what? We just need to make holding great again. And um, at that point, I believe it was like November last year. I ended up launching it in December. And we wanted there to be an incentive for people to actually hold, right? So we ended up finding some tech that allow us to use our pump fund, you know, uh, ho- um, creator rewards, which are dynamic and based on market cap and things like that, right? It changes, based on different factors. But part of that is issued to, holders. Part of that is dedicated to buyback and burns, and part of that goes to a what's called a dev wallet. I call it the ocean cleanup wallet because we use it for donating to ocean cleanup. Um, but
Fire.
Respect.
those percentages break down with 60% going back to holders of the creator rewards, 30% go to that ocean cleanup currently as it stands, and then 5% for buyback and burns, and another 5% for the shrimp holders, right? Shrimp holders are ones with 1 million tokens. And then the 30%, or I'm sorry, 60% go to the whale holders, which own at least 0.5% or 5 million tokens. So That's kind of how the tech works right now. Um, and that's how I got into crypto. It's been an incredible journey up until this point. Um,
Yeah, man, that 2021 ride was with the NFTs and stuff was fun. I mean, I was doing NFTs since CryptoKitties came out, so I was pretty early because I wanted to see what it was like, right? And then everybody was talking about how you own this image, it's token, blah blah blah, and I was like one of the first to realize you're not buying an image. That image is on IPFS, and you could change the image on the token, you could remove the image on the token. You're just buying a token that has a call to an image, right? And I minted an NFT on OpenSea like probably a month or two after CryptoKitties came out. And it
hmm.
was I did adult entertainment at the time before I got into crypto. So I took like a dick pic and I posted it on OpenSea as an NFT. And it was supposed to be so, you know what I mean? So like loud to make a point, and that was like the loudest thing because I didn't have any followers or anything at the time. It was just trying to make a point, and it was like the image isn't stuck on this NFT forever. Everyone's like, oh, now you can't delete it. I somebody wanted to buy it, and I have an offer for like $100 or something on the NFT. It's probably still there on OpenSea, but I declined it because I didn't want to scam anybody. But I went to where I hosted the image.
They
I
wanted
think it
to
was
buy
like,
that dick pic. That wasn't a scam.
but I was rugging the image, so I went to where I hosted the image and I deleted it. And now it just
Oh,
says, image not found where the NFT
oh,
is on OpenSea, right? And that was like the
oh. So no,
point.
no
Like,
more dick pic.
no, and
What
that was
chain
that's
is it
what
on?
Huh? It was on Ethereum, on
Okay.
OpenSea. It
Okay.
was like so early. It was the only
Yeah.
chain you could
Yeah.
do it on. But I wanted to prove a point that the images weren't forever, right? But the token was. But I could change the image. I could delete the image, and not anybody really did anything with that for a long time. And then a couple years later, I think it was in like 2020 or 2021 maybe, somebody did a rug NFT where they sold like 10,000 individual rugs, and then they deleted all the images from the NFTs, like, and rugged the rug NFT project, right? And again, they were just trying to do what I did, prove a point that you're not buying this image, you're buying a token. And yeah, it was
Right.
it was totally like this. I don't know. It felt like a Renaissance moment of like enlightenment. Like you're seeing the illusion for the trick that it really is. Like it's like having
Right.
the cup and ball trick played with clear cups. You can finally
Ah,
understand what's happening. So I was
yeah.
like, yeah, this NFT stuff, but it was a lot of fun, man. I it was the what I was in it for, the idea of it, with color coins on Bitcoin and stuff, where I was like, oh, you could do stuff to money. Like that makes sense. If I handed $100 bill to Banksy and Banksy draws on that $100 bill, do you know how many more $100 bills without his drawings on it I could trade that for? And I was like, yeah, that makes sense with crypto. It's digital money. Now let's put some art on it. But I'm just curious, did you decide to get involved with the NFTs or at all when you were starting to get in around that time in 2020?
Yeah, absolutely. So I actually, after 2020, after I bought Bitcoin, I bought some Bitcoin, I bought some Ethereum. Those were my two main holdings, right? Because those were the thing, right? Like at the time, right? There really wasn't like I think Solana had like just launched like and it was like freaking cheap as hell. I wish I would have
I
known about
know.
it. But yeah, early 2021, I started buying ETH NFTs like an idiot. I didn't buy the right ones, right? I did not buy the right ones, and they're all worthless, right?
I was
So
gonna
I
say
have
there's no right ones right now.
no, but at the time there may have been some right ones in the short term, right? But I didn't
Yeah,
even
but
choose
even
them.
like Justin Bieber didn't sell his Bored Ape, and it went from like it went from like I don't know what was it, 16 million or something down to like $500. That's gotta hurt.
Damn.
That's crazy. That's absolutely crazy. Yeah. If
Steve
it's
Aoki just sold all of his Bored Apes. He just got out.
yeah. Hey, remember they did that like
Damn.
concert thing with Snoop Dogg with Bored Apes and stuff? Remember that? He had like this virtual depiction of like he was like showing up as a bored ape on TV, like
It,
doing this rap concert, and it was like there was so much hype around NFTs and that stuff at that time. It was absolutely insane. But
Yeah,
yeah, I got
man.
into ETH NFTs first, and slowly trickled into Solana NFTs. What brought me into Solana NFTs was the community aspect of it. On Discord, shit was popping everywhere. Like communities were booming. And that's where I was like, okay, I saw it in 2021. I was like, Solana's the future. And I started telling everybody I could because I just saw like how involved community was in Solana. And then
Yeah.
sure enough, it morphed from NFTs now into meme coins, and you see where we're at now. So, but
Yeah, so I guess we'll start with asking some questions about the ticker MHGA, Make Holding Great Again.
Yeah,
What
yeah,
yeah. I want to ask,
differentiate?
like,
Oh, then
me.
you go first, sir.
Yeah, let me ask a question first this time.
I
How
was
about
I
that?
was setting it all up. I was in mid speech, but nah, go for it.
let's go.
Well, I just want to know, like, what inspired the ticker, the MHGA? Like, what inspired that?
Yeah. Well, when I was really like looking at the space in disgust at when I CTO'd that other project, and I was like, you know what, this is everybody's just zooming in and out to these other things, right? It's like nobody knows how to hold, nobody knows how to like, let an investment mature. It's like they
Like nobody
just
has diamond hands.
yeah, exactly.
Mm.
That's what we need. More diamond hands, right? So I was like, I just thought to myself, like it literally just popped into my head. I was like, we need to make holding great again. Like it was like
An epiphany.
it's just simple as that. And I was like, I'm gonna make a coin called that. And then like it just happened, right? Um, and then from there, I'm like, okay, we're going to do this. We're going to implement this tech so that we can actually like reward the holders because that's technically like making holding great again, right? Like I'm not earning any dev fees off of the coin, right? The volume of the sells and the buys. So like that's going back to the holders. That's going back to ocean cleanup initiatives. That's going back to buyback and burns. So we're reducing supply over time. We're giving back to the holders and we're helping to clean up the oceans, right? So like that's the whole narrative behind it. And on top of that, we do have some pretty cool utility coming out, which I'll talk about a little bit later. But
Yeah.
that's what inspired the MHGA idea, right? I'm just tired of seeing rugs all over the place.
How involved is the founding team today, and what roles are they still, active in building or promoting the project?
For MHGA,
Yeah.
so the
Yeah, like
founding team is numero uno right here. And I literally run everything from all the socials.
damn.
I do all the video work. I do all the artwork. Um, so in anything you see, and I'll say this, I don't do all the artwork. Correction. I do have a couple of artists for the static images that I use. Anything that's AI generated, I do myself. Um, but there is some 2D hand-drawn animations that I use that I do have artists for. Because I'm not that talented,
I was gonna say
unfortunately.
you have a lot of stuff that you got to do with one hat. Like, you could utilize what you were talking about earlier, that community aspect, and start delegating some of these positions and
Yeah.
roles out. With token opportunities. Maybe people could earn some tokens by contributing, making content, or moderating and stuff like that.
Yeah, and I do have a couple good moderators for the TG and the X community, really stand-up guys that do a lot for MHGA. And we've held some competitions in the past, right, to create art, to create videos, things like that, and had rewards. So we do that, right? We also have kind of like some rewards in the Telegram. We have a built-in gaming bot in the Telegram where you can play different games and based on your standing, right? Like first through third, I think you get rewarded if you place first, second, or third after the 24-hour time limit in the game, then you get an automatic distribution of MHGA to your wallet. As long as your wallet is registered with that Telegram bot, which is called the Pearpunks game bot.
Cool, cool, cool.
That
Yeah.
is cool.
Um, but yeah, you're right. I mean, it is a lot for one person. But
But
I
you're a ranger, right?
continue to grind, you know what I mean? Like you have to keep it going. Like there's no quit, it's
Well, since you're
pushing.
doing it all, I mean, it's all on you. What steps have you taken to kind of build trust around liquidity, the contract safety, and, the rug pull concerns?
Yeah, so as far as the contract goes and the liquidity, um, you know, like I can't like directly pull liquidity from the token. It's a pump token, right? So pump kind of has all that contract security built into it. So when you launch a token on pump, um, as opposed to a custom contract that you build like the old-fashioned way. Um, but I mean, sure. Like I try to support the project as much as I can because I want it to be successful long term. It is a long-term project. And by doing that, I know that a lot of the successful projects have a high amount of ownership of the token, right? So, um, that being the case, I have collected for the project um, approximately 50% of the entire token supply. So that is locked down with no intention of selling, right, in order to promote long-term success of the project, either be it through future exchange listings or, um, you know, marketing or whatever the case may be, right? But for right now, it's not going anywhere, right? Like, because it's there for that treasury purpose, right? To sustain the long-term success of the project. And I plan to collect more. I'm not going to stop there. I'm going to continue to accumulate over time as I continue to push this. Um, so that's where we sit.
All right, man. Respect. Yeah, it's a lot of work for
Fucking
one
love it,
man.
bro.
Again, like
I look, I'm inspired by the fact that you're doing all this by yourself. Like, what I mean, you say you spread out a little bit, but the fact that you doing all of that, bro, hoorah,
yeah,
right?
for real. Like that's a lot. It's people may not know this because like they haven't done any of the multiple things that you're doing, but all of them are it's a lot and it starts to add up.
A lot of
How do
work.
you how do you handle some of that stress or sort of like the mental bandwidth? How do you delegate that? How do you separate
Man,
You know
how do you
what?
separate off chain life from on chain life? Because when people clock out of work, you can clock out of work, but crypto's 24/7.
No, you're
literally.
right. I love this. I love doing this. I have a passion for it. I love connecting with people in the space. I often say that, the people that I meet in Web3 are often more supportive and willing to connect on a daily basis, more so than like the people I know in real life, right?
Man, literally.
I'll say there's very few people in real life that I can actually connect with and like have genuine conversations about the things that I'm interested in. But when it comes to Web3, they're abundant for me. So I love it. I love it.
I love that for you too, bro. I love it because, like, man, I feel the same way. I deal with people and like people that I know my whole life that I talk to stuff about crypto and stuff, and they like completely not interested or like it's kind of like above their pay grade. You know what I mean? So like, I just be like, wanting to connect with them and really help build their mindset, but it's like they're just close off. But the crypto community is like the opposite. I'm like everybody's like always like, hey, how can I help? How can we come together and make this better? Like, what I mean? I love that about crypto.
1,000%. Absolutely.
Yeah, same man. It's that was one of the things that really got me into it was like, once you understand, you can't help but look at everything with that mentality. Those like parts of your brain have now been wired to see things in a Web3 perspective. And it's almost like, seeing any business not using the internet in 2020, right? You're like, wait, why don't you have a website and a Facebook account? You're
Yeah,
like, why would I need that? All I do is roofing. You know what I mean? You're like, no, every roofer
right.
has a Facebook account. Every roofer has a website. What are you doing? And now it's sort of at that point, even back when I got involved in like 2016, I saw pizza stores and I was like, you guys should be accepting Bitcoin. You should make a token of your own token and give it out as a loyalty and rewards point. Every time somebody buys a pizza, they get a pizza token and you can accept 10 pizza tokens for a free pizza and shit, And I don't know, like that
Mhm.
mentality, it just doesn't go away now, and especially as more and more people get involved in this space and start playing with the tech. those light bulbs are starting to go over a lot more heads, and it's bringing a lot more people to our proverbial conversational table where we can just kind of sit down and talk about these things. Like going to conferences is some of the biggest, most important things for projects. And I am happy to say that, I'm proud to hear that you guys, Plastic and Make Holding Great Again, and a lot of these community projects are attending conferences. And I'm looking forward to seeing you guys in Vegas at Bitcoin 26 in like 2 weeks. Let's talk a little bit about that. Have you been to conferences on behalf of Make Holding Great Again already, or is this going to be sort of like your first conference tour with like the project?
So I have not been to any conferences for MHGA yet. I did plan on going to MemeCon. MemeCon got canceled. And then we have coming up where we're attending here in a few weeks, along with some other token communities that we're involved with and partnered with, um, Plastic and Geis. MHGA will be going to Miami for Solana Accelerate and Miami Consensus. So we'll be
Yeah.
there for both of those events, from May 4th to May 7th.
Nice. I'll
Um,
see you there for sure.
yeah, right there at the Miami. I believe it's the Miami Convention Center.
Oh
So
shit! I thought I must be confused. I thought you were going to Bitcoin, and I thought maybe I was thinking of Consensus then.
yeah, we're going to Consensus. So
My bad.
tickets are locked down and everything's locked down for that. So we'll be there. Are you going to be there, or you're going to Bitcoin, you said?
I'm going
Yeah,
to
you
all
are.
of it. Yeah, I'll be there
Okay,
with
okay.
yeah, I'm going to Bitcoin and Consensus. I'll be at Bitcoin with Double O Tats. I'll be at Consensus with Bobcat and Double O Tats actually is going
And
to
I will test
Consensus
it.
too.
And you
Nice,
talking
nice,
about
nice,
this
nice.
Miggy Crypto.
Solana something?
Yeah,
What you said? Is another
Miggy should
place,
be there
another
too.
event in Miami?
Yeah, Solana Accelerate USA.
Okay.
It's the first day
Okay.
on May 4th. Um, and then it's going to tie into, I guess it's tying into Consensus. So,
So let's talk a
So
yep.
little
we
bit
gotta be
about
there
the
May 4th.
goals and objectives of a project like Make Holding Great Again attending a conference. What will be some of those, that you're looking to take away from attending this event with a project in mind?
Yeah, I think it's mostly around awareness and involvement with some of the players in the broader community of Solana and crypto in general, getting our name out there, being seen, being able to show people that, look, there's a real face, a docs dev behind this that is willing to talk to people, willing to answer questions, um, and showing them what we're building, right? I think that's the biggest thing that we want to do.
I love
I'm
it.
glad to
I
hear that
kind of
because
wish
like
the
yeah,
docs dev thing had value still though. Not to take away from, the sacrifice, honestly that you're making of being like the public face of a project. But I feel like so many bad actors have come in and like doxed themselves and still, rugged because this is like crime is legal, Wild West. Like even the fucking president of the United States has rugged us, and his wife rugged us. So we've gotten rugged by people that have doxed before, which kind of takes a lot of that value away, unfortunately. And it's a bummer because like it's almost incentivizing us to go back to the Satoshi era where maybe the devs shouldn't be doxed because like it almost doesn't matter anymore, right? And I don't like that. I think that there's a lot of value in the fact that you are doxed and you're going to conferences, you're promoting the project and spreading awareness, shaking hands and taking pictures with people and stuff. There is value in that, but it sucks that we've seen like celebrities, sort of get away with doing what they've been doing and even getting pardons from like the president from running scammy exchange and pyramid schemes. Like all those criminals that he pardoned, it's just such a bummer. I think that's what's sort of devaluing community projects. So I don't know what we can do to sort of reutilize that public credibility, but I think that that's like a time thing. We just need people like
I
you to
know what's
stick
gonna
around
happen.
for time, right? Like
I'm gonna apply that pressure, man. I'm gonna put the skin in the game, man. You know what I'm saying? When people start getting these plastic tattoos and make Holding Great Again tattoos and stuff,
that's a
man,
good
like
point. Exactly.
that's real
Okay.
community. That's exposure. That's like I said, real skin in the game. You know what I mean? That's gonna put faces to real authentic. You know what I mean? You know what I
Julian, do you
mean?
have any tattoos?
I do have some tattoos. Yeah, I've got a sleeve on my right
Oh,
arm.
there you go.
Um,
I would say,
yeah,
how are we gonna how do I convince you so we can start applying that pressure Double is talking about to other founders that are docs to get their project tattooed on them? How do you get make holding great again tattooed? Do we do it at the conference or something in Miami, like right there on the showroom floor?
it's a good point. It's a good point. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, that
Magnus Drake. That's our character. That's the duck.
yeah.
Um, he can get tattooed on people. That's for sure. He's a very
Yeah, yeah. See,
tattooable
that's the way
character.
right
I
there.
think
Like
you're
to
right, Double
have
O. That the
identity.
name isn't enough. The skin in the game is literal flesh at this point.
Literal
Yeah,
skin in the
Yeah,
game. Yeah.
yeah.
yeah,
I
yeah.
think
And
that
that's what
would
I've been
add a
pushing
lot of
too.
value.
I
Damn,
believe that too.
I
That's
didn't
why
even mean
I
to
kind of
set you
lead with
up for
that.
that. I just didn't think about it for some reason. You know what I'm saying? That was a perfect setup, but like, no, you're
How about
100% right.
MHGA?
Oh,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
love that.
fire.
I
Yeah.
do love that.
Yeah, hell
Yeah.
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 Let's do it. It's happening. I'm bringing all my
Yeah, but
equipment
you're
always.
right,
So
Double O. That might be the next. This could be the start of the next wave of like credibility, where docs devs also now get the tattoo, and like when you're on the team, you do too. If you're the CTO or whatever, like you'll see
yeah,
them. They're rocking it because they actually have skin in the game. This is a for life situation, right? And I
exactly.
think
Like
that is the next credible like status symbol that we can do in the space. Because I mean, I'm all inked up with projects I'll rock forever, bro. I love Dash, man. It's
exactly.
one of my
And then
favorite.
mind you, with me doing it, putting on the certificate of authenticity, minting that on the blockchain, you know what I mean? That puts it all on chain. So it's like, you feel me? Now everybody's authenticated and you know what I mean? Like, yeah, and have real identity connecting to
Oh
each other.
yeah, and with community bounties, Julian could put up whatever amount of make holding great again tokens, and people could get in line. They get a tattoo. He reimbursed them with some tokens, and there you go. Right now, that's community engagement. I didn't buy this token with money I got from a 9 to 5. I bought it with flesh. And I think
The skin in the
that would
game.
really add that diamond hands factor to it because people value that more, right? And especially in any way. If you make somebody earn something by going through some hoops, they value it over market value. If they would have paid cash value at market value for it, that's where they value it. But they value their time and effort much more than they
Their
value
skin.
the
Yeah,
money,
yeah.
right?
Like, yeah.
You get people that earn make holding great again tokens by getting a tattoo. They're not selling it for anything less than a 10x to 100x. You know what I mean? Like
Right, right.
they need to be like, this is my retirement
Right,
tattoo.
yeah, I got this tatted on my skin for this coin, like yeah, and then mind you, to be able to promote it with the tattoo as well, like you know what I
It
mean.
only
That's
helps your holdings even more. Exactly.
yeah, yeah, and that's a real
Yeah.
world marketing as well, like you know what I mean. Not this internet marketing that people do a lot of internet marketing, but it's like you marketing to people that are already on the internet. You know what I mean? More likely already spending internet money, more than likely already crypto orientated.
Yeah, and the
But the real
algorithm will
world people.
never let people see what they're doing that don't already have interest in what they're doing, right? It's not like the algorithm's ever going to show somebody that tattoo that never seen something already related to it. It's not going to be their on-ramp experience.
Right.
But again, you
Right,
get a
right.
tattoo, you take a bus ride somewhere, you're going to buy something at a store and somebody asks about it and that's it. You're on-ramping off chain.
Literally, literally. It's
Yeah.
been a lot of people that have been getting Bitcoin Cash tattoos, been telling me, yeah, I've been having people download the Celine wallet from seeing my tattoo, and they bought some Bitcoin Cash from seeing the tattoo, and it's like, oh yeah, I see it working. I know this is what it's going to take, to make this shit mainstream. You know what I mean? Because everything else is, it's taking a lot longer. I don't say it's not working, but it's taking a whole lot longer.
Yeah, for sure. I wanted to mention, if I could, real quick, we just launched our merch store at mhgamerch.com. So if anybody's interested in Magnus Drake or Maga Labs, you do have some pretty cool stuff on there for people to check out if they want to see, right?
Oh yeah.
Um,
I love
it's all
Could
that.
you like maybe share your screen and show it maybe?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's do this.
Oh yeah.
All
Yeah,
right,
yep.
'Cause I definitely want to see it.
Before I click allow, I will give you some advice. You might want to bring the website up first, because as you start typing into your browser, all kinds of things will show up in your, your browser thing. So just making you aware, you should have the tabs and stuff already open, because when you start typing in your browser, people can see all the different websites that start with all the different letters you're typing.
Every porn search you ever searched.
It has
No,
happened.
this is
It has
a
happened on the podcast many of times.
I'm sure it has. This is actually, well, I'm all good. We're good. So here we go.
I've had
Yeah, the
people
shame is porn.
accidentally dox themselves because you see how your name says Julian and then has the ticker MHGA under your image here on Zoom. I've had
Yeah.
people on the podcast for an hour and they didn't realize until the next day that they had their government name on the Zoom.
Damn.
Uh, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think that it shows that like on live though. I think it just only
When
shows
you
us.
when you just show up though, when you like sometimes if I hover my mouse over the screen for any reason, you show up. It
Hmm.
does show up.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like right now, my mouse is on Zoom and they can see double O tats, and it turns green when you start talking, or it'll turn
yeah.
green when he starts talking.
Can you guys see my screen right now?
No, you got permission, but now you have to actually share it.
Oh, okay, gotcha. All right.
Now, can we use the Make Holding Great Again token to buy the merch?
Future, in the future, not yet,
Yeah.
but in our
That's the
plans
mission now.
for sure.
That's the mission.
In our plans. So, here we go. Here's the merch site, right? Just a quick little overview of what we kind of got going on here. Got some hats, got some bags, got some phone cases, got some shirts, got some hoodies, right? We got the MAGA Lab stuff. We got the Magnus Drake duck character stuff, you know. Um, so
That's really clean. I like that. It looked like a. Why I look like a black Donald Trump duck? What the fuck?
yeah, he's a black duck. I think it contrasts well with the gold on there. So, you know, um, no discrimination against ducks, man. I mean, like,
Hey, hey, I seen some type of conspiracy theory that said Daffy Duck was like black, you know what I mean? Because he was black, he was like a nigga duck. And so they said, look how he got treated.
oh,
I shit was funny, man. I can't stand people, man.
no.
He said that
No.
duck beard, that was really just big lips.
So this was
Yeah,
one of
but
my
but
favorites.
but but he was too corny to be black. I feel like Bugs had more black energy than Daffy.
Hey, I can feel that. I
You know
can
what I'm
feel
saying?
that.
Like, not to say like put a man in a dress conspiracy, but Bugs was the only one who could pull it off and make it look cool, and we already know how that story goes.
He said
Yeah,
make it
Bugs
look
was
cool.
awesome actually. We talk about those old school cartoon characters. Bugs Bunny is one of my favorites for sure.
Hell yeah.
I
Looney
like the
Tunes is like,
backpack a lot. The backpack looks really cool, especially I think the one with the fist, the diamond fist.
yeah, I fuck
Yeah.
with that kind
Yeah,
of.
yeah, I
Yeah.
like that
Yeah.
one.
Yep, I like that logo a lot. It's one of my favorites as well.
Okay, okay,
For sure, for
okay.
sure.
See, now this is all I'm programming all this into my brain. So when I come up with this tattoo, you know what I mean? It's gonna be yeah. Because bro, you're not gonna be the only one to get it. Like, it's gonna be hundreds of people that get it, bro. I've already done like over 80 Bitcoin Cash tattoos. Like, and it's like,
Really?
yeah, bro. And the more that I do, like, the more people see, they're like, damn, I want one too. It's like it's so easy to do it. At first, it was like I had to almost convince them, you know what I mean, to a certain degree. Like they had to see different ideas. But now I've done so many, they see so many ideas. Now it's like, oh, well, I want mine like this, and it's like, pfft, okay. Now I'm like, I'm gonna be doing all different type of ducks. You know what I mean? Like
Nice.
it's gonna be fire.
So just so everybody's aware, MAGA Labs or MHGA Labs is the company that's behind Make Holding Great Again, right? So MHGA Labs LLC is the actual entity that we have behind the token and the utility that's being built. Um, and I wanted to mention that the utility that is being built is really going to be focused around making holding more engaging with communities, cross communities. So obviously, I can't tell you exactly what it is yet. because we don't have it out in pilot yet, but I am actively building it. So I've gotten really big into um, what they call vibe coding, right? So
Mhm.
my background, I'm an IT guy by trade. My background, I worked on, satellite terminals, radio frequency engineer, even a network engineer with Cisco products and things like that. But um, and obviously for, different organizations in the military during my time. But now I'm learning the dev route, right? And I think a lot of this AI stuff is actually helping me learn how to be a dev more more easily than it would be traditionally. But yeah, it's fun actually building what we're building. So I can't wait to actually share it once we're ready to push the pilot out to the public. I think it's going to be really cool. I think you guys are going to love it.
Yeah,
Oh
and
yeah.
again, you started something that you can't control now. Like the Pandora's out of the box. The community can do a lot, and like that's some of the stuff I sit on the sidelines and really wait in anticipation for a lot of projects, especially stuff like this. Is like to see what the community is going to do because I've seen mini games built around projects where the projects had nothing to do with it. It's just somebody in the community that was a developer built a mini game for it, or there's somebody
Oh
who
yeah.
is a graphic designer. They're gonna make a cartoon about this, right? And like, so that's the stuff I'm excited to see is like what the community's contributions are gonna look like, because so many different creative people in the world get kind of interested in these projects, whether it's because they love ducks, right, or they love the ticker or the whatever. Something about it. There's enough people that will be attracted to it that will contribute in so many unique ways. If you want to
Yeah.
stop sharing your screen, I want to see what happens to my immersive view because I tested this out right here where we're down here at the bottom. I don't. Yep, I knew it. It was gonna do that. Ah, bummer. It's the first time I ever tried that because I was like, oh, I wonder what it does when he's sharing the screen.
There we
But
go.
that, yeah, this is how the immersive view works here on Zoom. I just create the background and make it look like you're calling in like Space Ghost Coast to Coast.
Mhm.
Awesome. Now I'm crawling out of your TV
Yeah,
like the
very,
ring.
yeah, very Grudge esque.
I said the ring. The ring come out of TV too, didn't she?
Yeah, it's the same movie, different name. The right isn't the Grudge and the Ring
No,
like
I
the
think
same?
they got a movie together now too. It's like the ring and the grudge bitch to fight or some
Oh, I
shit.
gotta watch. That's like Freddy versus Jason or something.
Yeah.
Oh no. Yeah.
So, what are some of your, roadmap plans for 2026? Some of the things that you're looking forward to checking off the list this year. What can people look forward to as far as like, expectations for roadmap go?
Yeah, I think one of the biggest things is our utility because it's going to be a big release, right? So um, when that utility gets released, it's number one, it's going to be a shock probably to a lot of people in the space. Number two, it's going to be revenue generating. So there's going to be an actual business model behind this that's going to sustain and drive the token forward long term. But not only the token, but the brand in general. So that's probably the biggest thing for 2026. Roadmap wise, I would say secondary to that, um, there's going to be yet another utility that will be built um, that will supersede and improve upon all other versions of rewards distribution tokens. So that's another, we'll say medium term goal on the roadmap. So those two things are probably the biggest. Obviously, there's some other things in there mixed in with that, like our partnership. I mean, we have a partnership with Plastic. I actually have a call today with another um, nonprofit for discussion about partnerships as well.
Oh, cool.
Um, so and that falls into our ocean cleanup initiative, right? We want to make sure that we are maximizing our reach and affecting what we can in the most um, efficient manner, so that we know that our funds are getting used in a positive way, right? Because as you know,
Yeah.
right, some of these companies just get so big, they have a lot of overhead, right? And so maybe, our distribution of donations to them might not be that effective for what we actually want to affect. So, um,
And the transparency and all that's really going to help too, because I mean, even Mr. Beast is going through some shit with the team water and people wondering what happened to all the money they gave him for all this water, and yeah, people are still asking questions, and it's been over a year, I think now. So it's just like another Red Cross situation, right? People gave Red Cross a whole lot of money, and they didn't help any single person rebuild their house after Hurricane Katrina, right? Like people are still wondering where all that money went, and having projects like this use tokenization to have that on-chain ledger for transparency to follow. I think that's going to help because like people are altruistic. I mean, people walk by, homeless people and give them $1. If you're in like IHOP or something, they have those stickers you can like write your name on and donate $5 and put it on the wall so people see your name when they walk in. People do that. The walls are covered like all the time, and altruism is always there. People definitely want to help others. It's just the man in the middle that's always been the problem. I think tokenization with the man in the middle is definitely solving that issue, and doing like tokenized rewards and incentives and gamifying it, things that people already want to do anyway. I think that's the part that's really going to appeal to people. I do remember somebody mentioning to me the creator fees or the fees for Make Holding Great Again for buying and selling were pretty unique. Did you want to talk a little bit about the fees involved in buying, selling, and not just holding a token?
yeah, so when you buy or sell Make Holding Great Again, it falls into the ecosystem of Pump Fund creator rewards, right? So those Pump Fund creator rewards are generally sent to the dev wallet, all of it, 100% of it, right? And they stay there in the dev wallet, right? The creator of the token. Now, those Pump Fund creator rewards vary. They're dynamic based on market cap. And I believe the sweet spot for Pump Fund coins is somewhere between like 100 and 300K market cap. I think that's where you generate the highest amount of rewards based on volume. Regardless of that, right? All of those, 100% of the creator rewards that Make Holding Great Again earns based on volume, it either goes to buyback and burns, shrimp rewards, whale rewards, or ocean cleanup. I get zero of it, right? So what does that mean? I think that helps to kind of show that we do have skin in the game and that we're in it for the long haul, right? Like we're serious about this, and we want to reward our holders. We want to give back so that our planet gets cleaned up, our oceans get cleaned up, um, and we also want to build some things on top of that to get people involved with community and competition, and friendly competition and things like that. So
I wish
um,
other tokens had this stuff in their roadmap, even if they were just, a meme coin. They would have contributed to the real world, progress. It's so crazy. Again, like even our president that launched the token had no roadmap to do anything with any of those funds, and it's just like such a missed opportunity. He could have started, an entire charity, could have started a franchise of orphanages. I don't know, but could have done something with a lot of that money. And I think what you're doing is going to inspire, if not with the altruistic inspiration, but at least with the peer pressure, right? It's like it's a bare minimum now, I think, is what people are going to expect when they start to see projects like Make Holding Great Again succeed over time with the Docs dev and Docs team and everything contributing back to society. I think that's going to put pressure on projects that even don't want to do that. It's kind of like, well, we kind of have to put this in our model because all these other projects are doing it,
Right.
and it might
Right.
be expected of us. We might look bad if we don't pick a few charities to give some of our creator funds to, right? I think that pressure that you're applying is actually going to be a big ripple effect. It just
Yeah.
again, it's going to take time, but it could lead back to projects like yours that the credit will be due to.
Yeah, I'd love to see it. If we could even aspire a little bit of that to happen, that would be great. I would love to see it. When it comes
Peer
to
pressure for good, guys. That's
exactly
that's what we're doing here. Peer pressure for good.
Right. And
100%,
then with
100%.
the blockchain, the big companies will be able to verify where those funds will be going and stuff. All right. That's what we're talking
Yep.
about. Yeah, that's
Yeah, I mean,
fire.
back in
Yeah,
the
'cause that's
day, everybody was doing a token, bro. Like even Oscar Mayer, the hot dog people, they did an ICO. They sold tokens. Kodak Camera, they did an ICO. They sold tokens, but none of them did anything with it outside of it being a complete and utter failure of a scam, right? And I think when we
mm,
start to see, people and companies, projects that have been waiting to get in the space, the framework that's being created by the community, us, is sort of like going to be what they have to do. We haven't seen McDonald's get into it yet. We haven't seen Walmart or Starbucks or Disney,
man.
get
And
involved in
it's
any of
it's so
this.
much opportunity for that because they got so many customers already that
But if
could
we
give
set this
reward system and stuff. Yeah.
standard, if we set this
Yeah.
standard before they get in, Disney's token is going to have some kind of altruistic, charity involved. Or if McDonald's wants to
Hmm.
do an NFT, their fees are going to have to go to something outside of McDonald's that's making the world a better place because it's expected of them.
Right, right, all right. I feel that. I feel that because like then we already buying the food. It's like you're already getting the profit. Like damn, like what else y'all like? Yeah, I get that.
Well, I ain't gonna take away. McDonald's does have children's hospitals, and they do give a lot of money back to like the kids they're poisoning with the food they give them.
I was gonna
Yeah,
say the kids that they eating and feeding us and like let me stop.
yeah, yeah. It's like your heroin dealer, your fentanyl dealer giving you some Narcan on your way out.
Yeah, like the fuck.
But they do. There was some pressure on their end, and they did start doing that. But I mean, with this tokenized stuff, though, we're so early that this is still before like AOL internet discs at the supermarket for that. Like we're before AOL discs were at your supermarket for the internet. That's how early we are to this Web3 blockchain shit. Like so many companies and projects and industries are not utilizing this technology at all. And when they start to, just like when they started to use the internet, the standard was already there from the community. We told them how their websites should look. We told them how they should
Mhm.
interact with social media and how they should be. We're
Yeah,
going to dictate that through this as well, where
yeah.
this is how they're going to be expected to utilize Web3.
I get that. Like we set the standard for like e-commerce and stuff. Like we told them how we do business on the internet, and then now they adopted it to where now okay, now you can order your McDonald's online now. Like I
Exactly.
feel that. Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's fire
Yep.
because we're gonna definitely set a standard for how this crypto, Web3 stuff working, and then when they start adopting it, it's like okay, they're following our model, and they're verifying where they're putting their funds, and yeah, that's fire. Yeah, I
Right.
Yeah,
love that. I can't wait
we
to see
we
that.
we dictate the algorithm, right? Like they could try their best to utilize the algorithm to kind of navigate us, but we build the algorithm. The algorithm is personal,
Right.
right? So once
We the
we
people.
start to show them how this algorithm works in Web3, they're just going to follow it. They're not going to try to, break it and redesign how we navigate the space. They're just going to they're going to follow the easiest stream. And when we show them that, we fuck with projects that actually give back to the community and we want chainalysis, we want to be able to see on chain that these funds are going to these, charities and not just, some rich guy buying a yacht because he's the founder of a charity. That's how the money got to the
Right.
charity. that's
Yeah,
how it
exactly.
that's how it normally goes.
And if we can inspire just some of that, right? Like being that, I like to say that we're a bridge. Like Make Holding Great Again is a bridge between the meme economy and, real world impact. So, being that most memes don't really have a real world impact like that, right? So if we can inspire just one other project if we could start off like that, I mean, that's huge in itself, right? Because that might create a snowball effect um, down the
What
line.
Yeah.
about it?
And the synergistic team that you're built around with the tree gens, plastic, make holding great
Yeah,
again, and everything, like
yeah,
all those cabals for good.
I do
I
want to give a
think
shout
there's a
out
lot
to the
of power in
plastic.
that.
If I can, give a shout out to Plastic and Yermiel and Geis Global Environmental Impact
Guys,
Solutions.
yes.
You guys didn't know, I'm also the Chief Technology Officer for Geis. So we'll be doing some bullish things when we get to Florida. First off, before the conferences for Geis, we'll be doing some stuff to secure some things, but can't spill the beans, but
yeah.
you know, there's some cool stuff going on with that as well.
Yeah, but I just
Um,
love that community that you guys are building around all of this with these different projects with this, and I think that that's going to inspire more groups for good. I mean, this could be. You ever see that movie? What is it called? Hitchcock with Will Smith, the guy who wants to
yes,
like paint a heart on the
Superman.
moon.
He's basically
Yeah,
like
Hancock.
Superman. Hancock,
Hancock.
yeah.
Talking
Oh,
about Hitchcock.
Hancock.
What the
Oh,
fuck?
no, there is
Is
a
that?
He
Hitchcock,
did a
right?
Hitchcock movie too. Yeah, that's the
Oh,
different
I don't know
movie where
about
he's
that
like
one.
a dating instructor, I think.
Oh,
Oh
yeah,
no,
yeah,
that's just called
yeah.
Hitch.
So which
Hitch,
one are you
yeah.
talking
I
about?
put both of them together. I was talking about Hancock, the superhero
Right.
one. But there's the guy in that movie, he wants to like get all these companies to come together and do good and use like this symbol of good to represent what the companies are doing for the world. And it's like this giant, heart that sort of looks hand painted or whatever, like finger paint. And then Hancock goes and paints it on the moon or whatever, right? And I don't know, I feel like
Yeah,
projects like this feel like that moment to me where it's like, oh shit, like it's all
yeah.
starting to
That
come
was fire
together.
too. And he told me, he said, "You're gonna change the world, Frank." That was the shit.
Yeah,
That's the
Yeah,
goal.
calling
That's
him
the
from the
goal.
moon and shit.
yeah, yeah. That shit was fire. Shit, I'm about to watch
but
that now.
but that's the vibes this gives me is seeing all those different projects come together. Is like it's this overarching thing for good, and yeah,
Hmm.
it's great to see everything kind of going this way. I don't really, I
Man,
don't.
you know what I see? I think it's going to end up being like a United Nations of crypto coming together, all these projects coming together for the same cause. You know what I mean? It's gonna
There
be
you go.
it's gonna change the world for like the same shit. You know what I mean? Like, but it's gonna have to be like crypto people because the only people that really care. I see. You know what I mean? Like real
And it's
shit.
also another opportunity for adoption and utilization as well. A lot of companies are going to want to tokenize or get involved in this space. And if they see things that they synergize with, they could embrace it. They could buy a majority of the supply and they could become a part of the project without having to do all the things that they had to do, right? They don't have to make a token. They don't have to provide liquidity. They don't have to go and hunt down exchanges and get listed on this, that. They don't have to build utility. They see projects
Mhm.
doing things like minded succeeding in ways that they've already have infrastructure developed. They're just going to come in and if not try to acquire, try to at least adopt and adapt, right? And I think a lot
Mhm.
of these companies that are doing things in the plastic world are looking at what plastic's doing and they're like, oh well, we could just do that, but that's a lot of work. Or we could just buy 10% of the circulating supply and become a shareholder essentially in a way and start adding to the value of the project, which increases that 10% bag we just bought and whatever, right? So I think we're going to see a lot of these like big companies getting involved in little itty bitty projects because the acquisition thing isn't really a possibility technically. They could try, I guess, to buy like, the smart contracts and private keys, and it just gets sketchy, right? It's not really like handing off a website that you kind of, been squatting on for a company to buy it out from under you. The acquisitions aren't really the same, but people don't realize big companies like Facebook and Amazon and Google acquire very small companies that you have no clue even existed, with probably 1 to 6 people on the team for 1 to 4 years existing. But these big companies gobble them up and incorporate them into their infrastructure. That's going to keep happening. Nothing there is going to stop except for now these projects that they're going to want to acquire and gobble up are tokenized. And that means they're going to have to buy a majority of the circulating supply or something else, right? So I'm really excited that this is that tipping point as well, where companies are going to want to get involved, or even for whatever reason, influencers, politicians, you name it, that niche, like they use internet, like every group of whatever uses social media, they're all going to use Web3 as well. And you could see a politician or somebody looking at what Make Holding Great Again is doing, and they're like, hey, something similar like that worked for another politician. Why don't we use their, community and their phrase and this and that and their merchandise and their swag and this, you know what I mean? So the adoption is going to look like an acquisition at some point, like acquisition adoption.
Absolutely.
I see what you're saying.
For sure. The adoption's going to increase over time, and you're right. Everything you said is 100% spot on. And things that will help with that are things like, our partnership with Plastic and Geis being an SDVOSB, right? A service disabled veteran operated business, right? So that being the case, Geis is more prone to get government contracts for what it's doing, right? And those government contracts bring in business. With us having a partnership with them, that brings awareness and attention as well. So you can kind of see that flow of how things will potentially go, right? To kind of add on to what you were saying with, businesses coming in, right? That'll kind of facilitate that in a way as well. But you're right. I think people seeing that, giving back and, maybe at that point, people will say, okay, the docs dev does actually matter at some point, right? When you start getting real business involved, right? Because you got to know who you're doing business with at some point, I would think.
Yeah. That would matter again when we start to see people get repercussions and recourses for their acts for what they've done, right? I think we still haven't even seen the ban hammer come down. There hasn't been like a massive wave of arrests, or there hasn't been any crypto RICO cases, but the first crypto RICO will happen, and then a lot of these bad actors will have to get taken down, and the space will be cleaned up, and it will, like the early internet. I mean, more people got those fake Nigerian prince email scams and fell for it than didn't, until a certain tipping point happened, and people were like sort of aware of like, oh, the internet does this, that, and the other thing, but there are bad actors on it. That the common knowledge was a generational gap. Like my mom, my dad, their generation never understood the Nigerian prince scam. So they still keep falling for it till this day. But my generation, we know about all this. So like even the AI
Right, the
stuff
Nigerian
really
prince is a joke now. Like
right.
You get an email from the Nigerian prince and fall for it. Like really,
There's
come on.
kids that don't even know what that means, man. There's kids like today that don't even know what that is. Like,
and that's going to be the anonymous dev thing. Like you bought a token from an anonymous dev. Like what did you also invest in a Nigerian prince's family estate? Like what is happening? And I think that's a generational thing. I think that the kids growing up today, when they're the oldest generation alive, like my generation aged out, that will mean every human on planet Earth has only ever existed with Web3. You understand what that means? Like we're still not at the point yet where the people that are alive were alive when the internet came out. Like Betty White passed away not too long ago. She was born before sliced bread. You know what I'm saying? Like we have people that still exist on this planet that were majority of their life was spent before the internet. Or at least before social media and all this stuff, right? So when we age out and the 5-year-olds, the 10-year-olds are the great grandparents of that generation, the world will look as different as it does now to your great great grandfather who didn't even have a black and white TV. He had a radio. Do you imagine how different the world looks to him today? That is what we're doing.
That's what we're headed
exactly.
towards.
We're headed towards that. It's just a generational thing. Unfortunately, everything that we're building, we are, the pyramid builders, right? Like what we're building isn't for us to appreciate. It will be appreciated years after all the hard work we put in is done and we are gone. Yeah. Exactly. We are the Egyptian pyramid builders. What we're building won't even be halfway done after we are long gone. Like
and then the next generation won't even be able to explain how to replicate or what I mean?
Holy shit, bro, you're so right.
AI will be doing everything.
Yes, dude. I say 6 to 7, which has an ironic number now, but whatever. 6 to 7 generations from now, people will not understand how, and they won't be able to reverse engineer what they depend on for life. Like, they won't be able to reverse engineer it and start from scratch. The same reason I know for a fact, anybody watching this video right now, if your microwave broke, you ain't fixing it. You ain't building it from scratch. You're going out and buying another microwave. You have no fucking clue how it makes your popcorn pop. But you got really good at using the technology, so you no longer burn the popcorn. But if that machine decided to break, you are completely screwed. And you may be able to look up some handbooks, you may be able to find some parts, whatever. That is only going to get more increasingly harder, especially as the technology gets increasingly more difficult. Like, fuck your microwave. Imagine fixing your Wi-Fi Bluetooth washer machine.
You know what's gonna be crazy? When we're old, Ken, when we're old, Double O Tat, like we're gonna be telling our kids, like, I can't believe you let AI do that for you. I used to do that myself. Why don't you just do it yourself?
Yeah.
You know?
Straight up.
Well, that's the
Man.
same thing, like, back when I was a kid, the generation that was still alive, like my great-grandparents, had stories that will never be able to be told again. The ironic, or not the ironic, but the classic, walked uphill both ways to school. People Uber both ways to the mailbox. Like,
Literally.
Oh boy.
you know what I'm saying? Like, Double O just was telling me.
Yeah, bro. Like, motherfucker
People
was
Uber both ways to the mailbox. So, like, imagine when the kids of today are the oldest generation, the stories of their hardships.
They won't have any hardships.
That's
Like,
what I'm
the fuck?
saying.
Yeah. Like, and I can see like, generations from them now being like, kind of so well off, what I mean, or the way, financial literacy would be so, prevalent to where, everybody got money to a certain degree, people more well off. And
The
like you
concept
say,
will be so barbaric because of how. I mean, AI was the missing ingredient in their perpetual motion machine of passive income. Passive income did not exist. It was like a fucking belief system. You could believe in passive income, but it did not exist. You could always break it when you got to that passive part at some point, because you got to click a button. You got to log. With fucking AI, bro, you just log in, give it permission to operate, and it is truly the missing ingredient to passive income. UBI will be a thing. Passive income's totally coming, and I think that we're going to see it probably before I die of old age. Like, if I die before that, fine, but my generation's old age. Within the next 60 years, I know that we're going to see an entire, majority of populations not have to work. And if they want to, it's so they can get those things that are token gated, right? Like, you're still going to be not able to get a Lambo unless you create something that is of value to earn that Lambo, right? But I think getting those meals, water, shelter, all that stuff will be a given, a total given. I don't see how it doesn't work out that way, especially when you look at all these tokenized models and with AI in it. Like, the concept of currency makes no sense. Money always is going to be a thing, but like.
And then I see like this too, like with the crypto revolution and stuff. You know what I mean? Us being at the forefront of that. You know what I mean? All the great crypto people that I know in the community. You know what I mean? If all of us, share in the revolution and we all, benefit from, we all get rich from it. You know what I mean? Imagine all those nice people in the crypto world being rich as fuck. You know what I mean? We're gonna change the world in a better way to the point to where, like, I could see, like you say, it's not gonna matter. Like what you're saying, like it's gonna be irrelevant. Like, you know what I mean? Like the money and the food, or food and water, something gonna be a given, because we've created so many infrastructure systems to where it's a given now, literally. Like,
yeah, but you got to think it will be digital ID. Things will be gamified. You won't be able to just walk into a free grocery store and clear the shelves of all the toilet paper. You probably will only be allowed to have one roll of toilet paper a week. You may only be allowed to, that's the thing. Like, sort of like back when I was in jail, even if I had $1,000 on commissary, I couldn't order more than 12 packs of ramen noodles a fucking week.
Right.
Like, they wouldn't let you, right? So it's gonna it's gonna feel like commissary for the everyday person.
And that would be more. That makes more sense. That would to regulate that type of stuff makes more sense than the man. Yeah, that I I would be all in on that type of lifestyle because it would like, it would kind of even the playing field. You know what I mean? Like, you feel me?
It
I
won't be
think it would
completely
make
even. They're always going to be the 1% that are at the top of the food chain, but that pyramid always, the paradigm always switches. We've seen it over the history. If you look through 50 to 100 years, all the time, paradigm shift. The 1%ers somehow fuck it up every fucking time. There hasn't been any, I guess the royal family, I guess maybe they had the longest run at shit, but they're literally dropping the ball before our eyes right now. So it's not like they're infinite, right? So we've seen 1%ers throughout all of history drop the ball. And I think what this technology is doing is going to be the next paradigm shift where the next 1%ers are going to have people like you in it and not so much the Rothschilds.
Well, let's
right,
hope that
right,
those
right.
people.
Yeah. That's what I'm
Let's
saying.
hope.
Like the rich people are gonna be the community, the crypto community people, the nice people. You know what I mean? It's not gonna be doing no evil shit. We're gonna be doing helpful shit.
Yeah,
Yeah, let's
imagine
hope.
Roger
Hope
Ver
it's
being
those
the
people.
Rothschild.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fucking Mr. Rogers being the fucking Rothschild.
Exactly what I'm saying. He would be a Mr. Rogers. Yo, whenever you meet Roger Ver, if you don't call him Mr. Roger, I am going to cry, bro. That is so fucking great. Oh, Mr. Roger.
Gotcha.
I am calling Roger Ver Mr. Roger for the rest of my life now.
Nice.
That's the
Yeah,
homie. I love that movie. I love Mr. Rogers, man, for real.
I can
Shout
only
out to
hope.
Juice in the chat, man. Thanks for tuning in, bro. Said it's been a while. Yeah, man. Much appreciated. I didn't realize we've been over on the hour for 15 minutes. This has been so much fun. I guess I was so confused what conference I was going to see you at. I was looking forward to seeing
Yeah.
you guys in Vegas, but I guess it was Miami at Consensus. Either way, I'll see you a week or two later than I expected. But yeah, I'll
Yeah.
definitely be in Miami for Consensus. I'll see you guys there, and
Looking
yeah,
forward to it.
bring an extra
Yeah.
shirt and extra large, and I'll rock some
Oh
Make
yeah.
Holding Great
You want
Again
an
swag
extra
while
large,
Consensus.
or do you need a? I mean, okay, I'll up front.
The
They're
larger the better because Miami, bro. It's so
100% cotton,
sticky.
and they do shrink. I got a large, and it ended up being too small. It's like a medium. You know what I mean?
I like my shirts as large as they can get. Like I like muumuus. You know what I'm saying?
Because
Like when I wear a shirt.
you see this, right? Right? Right?
Oh,
It's kind
that's
of tight.
fire.
It's kind of tight on me, right? Like
You see
it kind of
guns?
looks like I'm
Yeah.
wearing a medium, right?
I can see your
Yeah.
heart beating. It's so tight.
It fit good, man. It fit good.
I'm
Well,
gonna get an
thanks,
extra large. So I think, we got. I know some big guys like Yermiel. I know he's not. He's a big dude. He's like 6'2", right? He's probably gonna need at least an extra large or a XXL. You know what I mean?
Yeah, look, my mama need a 2XL because she gonna want one. She want a shirt of every kind. So yeah, 2X.
Okay. All right.
I like the swag, man. We'll be there to represent. We'll go around as a team and Consensus and make the world a better place together, man. And thanks
Let's do
everybody
it.
for tuning in to not another Bitcoin podcast every Monday through Friday, noon Eastern till 1 p.m. Me and Double O Tats, we try to have a new guest on every day to talk to for about an hour. So we mix it up every single day. If you knew somebody that you'd like to be on the show, just I guess drop them in the comments below and I'll reach out. I'll send them the link. We're going to be at the Bitcoin conference in Vegas. So we'll be getting people from there scheduled on the show for after that. Then I'll be going.
Yeah, we getting Afro Man gonna be on the show.
Oh, Afro Man definitely coming on the show. That's happening. Then we're going to Consensus in Miami, and we're going to be getting some schedules for people to get on the show there. And then I will be in Slovenia for BCH Bliss after that. Again, getting more schedules on the podcast, right? So we're going to be really booked up. I'm hoping to get the entire year scheduled out to like November, December by the time I get home from BCH Bliss. Like we should have somebody new to talk to for the rest of the year. And then we can have a good back catalog and stuff like that. And I'm just looking forward to getting people scheduled on the show, going to all these conferences, making some content. I would like to say before I leave, thank you to the Bitcoin Cash community. Shout out to fundme.cash. I raised nearly $4,000 from the community to go to BCH Bliss. So I'm going to be going to a Bitcoin Cash conference. The community funded it, so it got me a room, which I paid for in BCH. Got a flight, paid for in BCH. Got everything I needed, paid for in BCH.
BCH. Yeah.
Hell yeah. I didn't have to sell none of it for fiat. I used it for the crypto it was, and I did everything I needed to do to attend the event. Shout out to Travala. Fucking love Travala. They made it so easy to use crypto for everything. If you're a person in crypto and you go to conferences, stop using fiat. Utilize your crypto for what it's supposed to be. It's more than just
investment tool.
Yeah,
price go up.
Utility matters. Even in Make Holding Great Again, you hear this. Julian was focusing on utility because utility over holding, but holding, you want to be diversified. 50% holding, 50% utilizing.
I feel that.
Because your utilization adds value to your holding.
Exactly. It's
true.
Man, I've been looking on TikTok and all these people live talking about crypto and stuff, and all they talking about is trading and market value, and I'm just listening like, man,
it's such a waste of energy, bro. That's how I felt in Clubhouse and Spaces. I avoid it because I went to 500 crypto conferences in a 10-year period. You know what I mean? I didn't come home for over a year where I paid rent. I paid fucking rent and utilities for almost a year at an apartment I did not touch the front door to for about a year because I was going to conferences every week, if not 2 a week. And now I got to go to Clubhouse and Spaces with all these fucking retards talking about buy low, sell high. And I couldn't do it, man. I really could not.
It turned me off immediately. I'm looking like, bro, you don't even get it. You think you know some shit, like you know a little bit, but you don't know half enough what you need to know. That vibes.
Damn, I wish I was class back then too, bro. Well, hopefully I'll see you at a conference soon, man. I see you guys in the chat. Let me know if you're going to be going to any conferences. I'll be there. You can get yourself a free Bitcoin Cash tattoo at any event that me and Double O Tats are at. So if you see us and you want a free Bitcoin Cash tattoo, you can just show up to the venue. If you don't got to take it, find us. We'll get you some free ink. And then, make sure you check out the Solana token over there. It is Make Holding Great Again, MHGA. Grab yourself some tokens and keep your eye out for the utility coming out. Consensus is coming up next month in Miami. You can go there and you can meet Julian in person, talk to him about the project. Thanks, everybody. Don't forget, like, share, drop those comments, and have a day.
Hello, happy bros. Hey, you're about to get a face full of the Ken Bozak. He's a mentor. That's what I heard. He's a connector. Oh, yeah. He's a brilliant leader. I've seen it. It's Ken Bozak. Oh, happy bro. You gotta get some Bitcoin and hold it. Happy bros. You gotta get those NFTs and you gotta hodl that stuff. You gotta hodl it. 'Cause I'm Ken bro. We got your Bitcoin, bro. He's an original. Buy some NFTs and hold them. How many times does he have to tell you? Going to the moon. We're going to the moon. We're going to the moon. We're going to the moon. Going to the moon. We're going to the moon. We're gonna get real high. 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 Yeah, we're going to the moon. We're going to the moon. Bro, we're going to the moon. Oh yeah, we're going to the moon. We're gonna get real high. Real high. Yep.
Hello, happy bro bros. Come get your Ken Bozak.